Good day, everyone. We will be doing question 4 of the November 2022 paper. This is paper 1. This is a graph theory question, and they are asking us based on the exponential graph. That's what the question is based on. And they give us the formula there, which is a into 1 over 3 to the power of x plus 7, and they say that it passes through that particular point. First question, calculate the value of a. So we can easily do that, as the mark allocation tells us it's only 3 marks. Using the same g of x formula, we substitute in our y as we are given for point E. And the reason we can do this is because it passes through the point E. 10, which is our y value, equal to a into 1 over 3, and then our x of point E is minus 2 plus 7. Now let's solve for that. 10 equal to a. If you put this in a calculator, it becomes 9. So into 9 plus 7. Now let's make 9 the subject of the formula, a9 the subject of the formula, and it becomes 9a. That's just a times 9 equal to, and then we have on the other side, when 5 goes to the side of 10, it becomes 10 minus 7, which is 3. Therefore, our a equal to 9 divided, no, it will be 3 divided by 9. And solving further for that is 1 divided by 3. So that is the value of our a. Now, 4.2, they further ask to calculate the coordinates of the y-intercept of G. Now, with y-intercept, when we answer in that question, the first thing is that we write y-intercept when x equal to 0. That is, we are going to put a 0 whenever we see an x. And therefore, this becomes y equal to, we know our a is 1 over 3. And not to be confused with the 1 over 3 that's already here in the brackets, that is to the power of x. So we still need that 1 over 3. Our x becomes 0 plus 7. And our y is 1 over 3. This, any number to the power of 0 is 1. So we multiply by 1 plus 7. And when you say 7 plus 1 over 3, you can find it to be 22 rather, divided by 3, which is 7.33. Therefore, the y-intercept is 0, 7.33. Okay, now 4.3, here they're saying consider h of x being 1 over 3 to the power of x. Now, let's have a quick glance on the difference between h of x and g of x. So let's just write it down here next to it so we can do a quick visual comparison there. So that is our h at x and our g of x. First difference is for h of x, our a is 1, and in here our a is 9. This is the same, and then our g of x has a 7, and our h of x doesn't. In fact, you could say that it has a 0, so it's plus 0. Now, the question then is, describe movement or translation from G all the way to H. How do we do that? Now, let's start with the 7. We have that 7 there. So in order for us to remove the 7, we have to remove it, this is a translation either up or down, but to remove it, we have to minus the 7 so that the plus 7 and the minus 7 cancel out. Therefore, we have to move 7 units down. So that's the first thing there. And then we have to then account for the 9 that is there. And we can account for that by saying you have to move it 1 unit to the right. So that is the translation that happened. Move 7 units down and move 1 unit to the right. The last question asks us to determine the equation of the inverse of h in the form y equal to ... So, what do we do when we have an inverse? So it'll be the inverse. So the inverse is when our x and our y swaps. So we had y equal to 1 over 3 all to the power of x. Now swapping the y and the x around gives us x equal to 1 over 3 to the power of y. Swapping the x and the y around. Now how then do we make y the subject of the formula? Because they said that it must be the subject of the formula. Now, we can introduce logs. So log 3 equal to log of 1 over 3 to the power of y. We took the logs of both sides, so we are okay, because what we did on the left, we did on the right. By the laws of logarithms, this y can be brought down here, and we're left with the log of 1 over 3. Now, y can be then given as log x over log 1 over 3. This is just dividing both sides by log of 1 over 3. And again, by the laws of logarithms, what is below the fraction line then becomes the base. So then it becomes log of 1 over 3, log of x base 1 over 3.